Sick of weak protagonists struggling for power? Today we are counting down 10 brand new reincarnation anime where the main characters start out as absolutely broken. Kicking off our list at number 10, Failure Frame. I became the strongest and wiped out everything with low-level spells. Mimori and his classmates are summoned to a fantasy world by a ruthless goddess. Deemed a failure due to his E-rank status, he is discarded into a lethal dungeon. However, Tuca discovers his useless status ailment spells are actually unstoppable, allowing him to annihilate everything in his path. This series delivers a visceral revenge story that thrives on the classic underestimated hero trope. Watching Tuca transform from a discarded weakling into a cold-blooded survivor using unorthodox abilities is incredibly satisfying. The dark atmosphere and high stakes separate it from your typical colorful isekai. It is a gritty, fast-paced ride for fans who love seeing a broken protagonist succeed. Moving down the rankings to number 9. I was reincarnated as the 7th prince, so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. After a sorcerer dies, wishing he had more time for study, he is reborn as Prince Lloyd. Despite being only 10 years old, he retains his memories and possesses an absurd amount of mana. Lloyd secretly conducts experimental research, mastering legendary magic while pretending to be a child. Lloyd is the definition of a magical prodigy whose curiosity often leads to terrifyingly powerful results. The animation quality here is surprisingly high, showcasing vibrant, fluid magical battles that emphasize his overwhelming superiority. It balances lighthearted comedy with moments of pure, unfiltered power. You will love how Lloyd views world-ending threats as nothing more than interesting subjects for his experiments. Continuing our countdown at number 8, Chillin' in Another World with level 2 super cheat powers. Banaza is summoned to a magical kingdom as a hero candidate, but is rejected for having mediocre stats. Banished to a monster-infested forest, he reaches level 2 and suddenly gains infinite power. Renaming himself Fleo, he decides to live a peaceful life alongside his new lupine companion, Fenris. While many entries focus on edge, this show offers a refreshing blend of domestic bliss and absolute domination. Fleo's power is so vast it basically breaks the world's logic, yet his humble personality remains charming. The chemistry between Fleo and Fenris adds a sweet layer to the narrative. It is the perfect pick if you enjoy seeing god-tier characters relax. Sliding into the 7th spot at number 7, my instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me. Yogiri Takato wakes up during a school trip to a fantasy world where a mysterious sage has granted his classmates powers. Yogiri was skipped, but he possesses a secret, the ability to cause instant death with a mere thought. He begins a journey home, killing anything threatening him. This anime takes the concept of a broken main character to its absolute logical extreme. Yogiri does not just fight, he simply ends existence for anything in his way, regardless of their supposed invincibility. It parodies isekai tropes with a dry, dark wit that keeps you hooked. Watching him effortlessly dismantle arrogant villains is hilarious and genuinely terrifying to behold. Dropping down to number 6, the reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. Betrayed by his allies, the world's most powerful exorcist, Hariyoshi Kuga, uses a secret reincarnation spell. Reborn into a world of magic as Seika Lamprogue, he realizes he has no magical talent. However, his previous life's spiritual arts are far superior to any spell this new world offers. Seika is a master strategist who uses his supernatural knowledge to manipulate events from the shadows. The blend of Japanese folklore with Western fantasy creates a unique power dynamic that feels fresh. He is not just strong, he is experienced and ruthless when necessary. This series excels at showing how a refined ancient skill set can easily outclass raw power. Breaking into our top 5 at number 5, the greatest demon lord is reborn as a typical nobody Varvatos. The most powerful demon lord in history grows bored of his lonely existence and decides to reincarnate as Ard Meteor. Hoping for a normal life with friends, he realizes that several thousand years later, the general level of magic has plummeted, making his average power completely godlike. The irony of a character trying to be mediocre while accidentally performing miracles is handled brilliantly here. Ard's struggle to fit in while being fundamentally superior to everyone else provides great entertainment. As the secrets of his past life resurface, the stakes escalate significantly. It is a classic power fantasy that leans into the spectacle of legendary figure reclaiming power. Holding strong at number 4, the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. An elderly master assassin is killed by his employers and reincarnated by a goddess. Tasked with killing a hero destined to destroy the world, he is reborn as Luke Tuatha Dé. Combining modern ballistic knowledge with fantasy magic, he prepares to execute the ultimate hit on Divine Target. Luke is terrifying because he pairs raw magical talent with a professional, cold-blooded tactical mind. The series meticulously details his training and the development of his unique arsenal. It feels more grounded than typical isekai, focusing on the mechanics of the kill rather than just shouting spell names. This is peak execution for fans who appreciate a highly intelligent protagonist. Charging ahead at number 3, My Isekai Life, I gained a second character class and became the strongest sage in the world. Overworked salaryman Yuji Sano is summoned to another world and becomes a tamer, a class considered weak. However, after befriending slimes and reading magical tomes, he unlocks a second class, Sage. Yuji becomes an unstoppable force, effortlessly clearing massive threats while remaining oblivious to his own immense power. Yuji's deadpan reaction to his own world-shattering abilities is what makes this show a standout. Using a literal army of slimes to channel devastating spells is a creative way to showcase his dominance. The pacing is incredibly fast, making it easy to binge. If you want a protagonist who clears dungeons like he is doing chores, Yuji is your man. Almost at the summit at number 2, I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. Liam Sarah Banfield is a man who died after being exploited by everyone he loved. Reborn into a spacefaring feudal, he vows to become a ruthless tyrant so he can never be victimized again. Ironically, his evil actions consistently result in him becoming a beloved heroic leader. This series offers a fantastic twist by mixing sci-fi with fantasy reincarnation tropes. Liam's misunderstanding of his own morality is hilarious, as his attempts at villainy accidentally fix systemic corruption. Beneath the humor, he is a formidable combatant with advanced technology and skills. It is a unique, high-energy story that subverts your expectations of what an evil lord should be. And finally, reigning supreme at number 1, Goodbye Dragon Life. The oldest and most powerful dragon, tired of his eternal existence, allows himself to be killed by heroes and reincarnates as a human named Dolan. Now living in a small village, he seeks a quiet life, but discovers that his dragon soul makes him an incredibly potent warrior. Reaching our peak at number 1, this series focuses on the wisdom and perspective of a truly ancient being. Dolan does not need to prove his strength. It is a fundamental part of his being. The world building is rich, and the interactions between different mythical races feel authentic. It is a masterful conclusion, offering viewers unparalleled power and incredible depth. These protagonists prove that sometimes having a massive head start makes for the most entertaining journeys. Whether they are seeking revenge or just a quiet life, their overwhelming power defines their new worlds. Which of these broken leads is your favorite? Drop your top picks below.